The Tales of the Wise Old Forest Tree. The Beginning, Part 1. Once upon a time, there was an old forest tree standing in the middle of a dark and mysterious forest. The old tree had been standing there for hundreds of centuries gone by, observing the comings and the goings of the forest creatures and the people who ventured into the forest world. The wise old tree had seen numerous things in its time, many of them lovely and enjoyable. They were there were birds that sang sweetly in the branches, the rabbits that hopped around the trunk, and the deer that stopped to rest in the shade of its leaves. The wise old tree had likewise seen some darker things. It had seen wicked witches, mean dark magical wizards, and dragons that breathed red hot fire, burning fire from their nostrils. It had seen animals of the night and the creatures that were not of this world. The old wise tree was a silent witness to all of these occasions, and it had lots of stories and tales to tell. When the forest was darker and more dangerous than it is today, it might inform you of a time when the creatures of the night wandered easily and the people of the forest were in danger. It could tell of times when they all had to leave because they feared the goings on in the forest. However, it could likewise tell of times when individuals of the forest interacted to safeguard each other and the creatures of the night. It might tell of times when the darkness of the forest was kept at bay and the light of hope shone through. The wise old tree has seen so much in its time, and it has lots of stories to tell. It can inform us of the dark side of the forest, but it can likewise tell of the beauty, of the hope, of the things that still exist in the darkness. I spoke to this wise old tree one day and asked him to tell me tales from bygone days. And he agreed with a big smile on his trunk. "You must promise me, though," he said, "to continue to pass on these stories over time so they will never be forgotten." I agreed wholeheartedly, and I was so excited, and with open ears, bigger than Big Ears himself, I listened hard. I did not want to miss a word about his world. Life has passed and continues to keep passing. Time never stops for anyone. The years have gone so very quickly, and I, an old forest tree, have grown wiser with my age, and my roots have grown deeper and stronger and longer and reach further into Mother Earth herself as time keeps ticking on. She is a good mother. She has been good to me. Life is not the same now as it was in the older times. Some of the trees have been cut down and taken away from the forest where they were born. They have never ever been replaced, so the forest today is a lot lighter and brighter and thinner, and more sunlight filters now into the forest, not like the old days when it was darker. The animals have disappeared in numbers now. They have been hunted by modern man, by humans they are called. They are cruel men, not humane, like the name human suggests, as they are killing the animals for no other reason than for sport, something to do, kill for a trophy, not to feed their family to stop them from starving. Yes, they did hunt in the olden days, but it was only to eat. get food for the family table. That's if they had one. People were poor back then and lived off the land, also lived on the land in the forest until some evil, ugly creatures made them move. They ran away because of great fear. They ran out of the forest. There were no jobs then, like today. People just worked on the land to exist. They lived by their instincts and only took what they needed to survive. They did not take for fun or just to put prizes over their fireplaces and say, "What a good boy am I." They then want to be praised for doing the killing. They want a pat on the back, the human fools, for they cannot see the big picture or even see past the end of their nose. The land, the sea, the sky, the world, the planets, the universe. That'll be next. Let me tell you, I have seen dragons, witches, wizards, and kings from other kingdoms, knights and ladies, queens, princes, and princesses, and they have all seen my majestic self over the ages and have admired me and respected me as I have grown over the ages of time. I have seen trolls and sloths, elves, giants, goblins, ogres, dwarves, gnomes, sprites, and pixies, to name just a few more, and creatures I don't even know the names of, or where they even come from. Some were not of this earth. It has been a strange place here in the forest over the ages, and I have had to stand tall, be strong, be tough at times, and I should think it will most likely continue to be the same forevermore. Yes, there have been so many happy times and some dark and hopeless times over the course of the ages that have happened, and I cannot remember everything. Yes, I am wiser, but still I have to remember my tales to tell to you. I want to tell you my stories and events so you can pass them on to the new ages in the future, and then they can do the same as time goes by. Only old Father Time will tell us of the further changes to happen in the future to my homeland, my place of birth, my place of life and of living, and one day my place of death, however and whenever that may be. I had better stop raving and get on with my tale. Rave on, rave on, rave on, rave on, rave on. Geez. This is a story about a dragon. One day there was a wise, quite quiet sort of a dragon that wandered off into the depths of the forest. I think he was lost. Maybe he wasn't so wise, after all, if he was lost. He just happened to bump into my trunk by mistake and said, "Sorry, wise old tree." To which I replied, "That's okay, my friend." The dragon had a magic staff with diamond studs at the top that sparkled like the stars in the night sky. He said, "I have come to watch over the forest and protect the trees and the creatures of the forest, protect them all from harm, and to bring harmony and peace and restore life back as it should be in the forest." I told him that the forest changes by the day, by the week, by the month, and so on. You cannot control the forest with your magic staff, I told him. The forest has its own way of doing things. The weather, the sun, the rain, the wind, the creatures, we all play our part within our home, our forest, our land. He said I can still wave my magic staff and cast a fantastic spell over you all to make good things happen, as that is what I must do, as I am a helping dragon, not an evil one. I have a job to do. I don't even breathe fire. With a great big whoosh and a mighty swing, he swung his magical staff into the air, and as it twirled, he muttered words that I could not understand. And he said, "The land, the forest, the creatures, and all who dwell in the forest will have peace and harmony in the forest from here on in. You are now protected by my magical staff and spell." And with that, he said goodbye and flew off into the afternoon sky. Where he was going to, he did not say. He may come back on another day. It all happened so fast I was shocked as he just disappeared and flew into the sky as quick as he had come. I have never seen him since that day. I tell you one thing, though. The forest has been at rest and quiet. No horrible things have happened here for lots of years. Maybe that dragon did cast a magic spell over the forest, as all has been good since that day. I think we need another visit from that dragon to show the world what the world should be like. It would show the humans a truth or two. That's my tale for you today. I will need to get some sleep. As the sun has started setting in the distance now below the horizon, the orange light filters through the trees, making me close my eyes to rest with the night. I will tell you another tale another day. Good night. The end. The next tale is yet to be told.